This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy! Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, aka Cool Movies Darth, who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guests and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
Thank you for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast with Cat Bus Russ. I just want to give the heads up. We had a lot of technical difficulties with this episode. I think it was my HP computer, but it's weird, internet connections, what have you. But thank you very much for Dre from the Ta2Squid podcast for hanging in there, and I hope we have given you a great conversation about Super Mario Brothers 1993. Thanks for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast, and enjoy the show.
Going in. Where are we? I captured the princess.
Where's the rock?
The plumbers took it.
Plumbers.
Alien species escaping.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Bring the noise.
All right. Well, this is 90 for Chill, the podcast with Cat Bus Russ, and my guest is the returning Andres from Ta2Squid. Fun little podcast, great character study. Yes. And I didn't necessarily intend, I was just throwing suggestions out when I put images up on the platform formerly known as Twitter, but I threw a gif of John Leguizamo telling us to trust the fungus. And
yes,
yes, it has led us to 1993's Super Mario Brothers, a Disney-backed adaptation of the Nintendo property, a very loose adaptation at that. And the failure of this movie resulted in Nintendo not allowing their properties to be adapted to other media for, essentially 30 years. So
that's why you had to get like the DVD. So you had to buy the DVD to watch it and see it anywhere else.
Correct. Yeah, it's I imagine
I actually just finished watching it like maybe not even 10 minutes ago. So it had the whole we put a theme song going on at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, it does its best to try to, let's say, this is Mario Brothers, people, sure. And if you look at it as a Mario Brothers movie, it's not any I can understand why people I can understand Nintendo's stance. It was I mean, this eventually, like, I've watched a video on YouTube from Secret Galaxy, and they had gone and discussed this movie and the all the struggle to it. Nintendo definitely wanted it, and they guess it went from the writer of Rain Man, just kept on jumping from script to script. They already got Leguizamo. They got the main cast taken care of. Dennis
Yeah,
Hopper as Koopa, Bob Hopkins as Mario, John Leguizamo as Luigi, and then
yeah.
eventually it ended up in the hands of the people behind Max Hedron. So that's
Oh, Headroom.
Hedrum. Thank you. Yeah, the that was one of those, like, I don't I don't think there was anything offensive about that show, but that was just something my parents thought was too stupid. No, you don't need to watch that.
Oh, what the movie? Yeah, I mean, I
No,
love
no.
the.
Oh no, not the movie. I'm talking about Max Headroom.
Oh, that was like a that show, man. That's like a ahead of its time, basically.
Oh yeah.
I,
Oh, especially everything on Adult Swim. So,
yeah, but
essentially,
it's like more. I want to do that. I want to have like my own head kind of thing, doing that whole you know,
right. Wait,
do
with the
that shit.
glitch, with the glitching, and no, I
Yeah,
guess it's again, watching a lot of YouTube videos about video games, like old. There's a lot of video game characters who are essentially that. So,
yeah,
um, so this is actually, I guess you would say, they've kind of had a ahead of the game on what video gaming would eventually become. I mean, the voice actor Frank Welker, who pretty much does all the creature noises in this, uh, you pretty much can find him credited on every video game. So now, that we have the ability to get sound pretty good.
yeah.
But yeah, this was, though, when I saw it in the theaters back in '93. It was it's the first time I would say I kind of thought, man, I should apologize to my dad for taking us to this one, because as a 13-year-old Mario fan, this definitely doesn't work. But um, there's been a lot of reassessments on the feature since then. I know this ruined the director's career for a good 10 years. Um, but if you don't think about it as a Mario movie and just like a what we were watching on a live action adaptation of the really crazy cartoons we were watching in the 80s, I think it holds up. There's a lot of still direction errors, and definitely not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination, but not a yeah, just not. It's just a misunderstood film.
Yeah, because I mean, you're looking at because everybody that watches, like say now, yeah, and they're like, oh my God, why? Or even 5 years from 5 years before, they'll be watching it like, oh my God, this is so shitty. You're looking at it's from 1993. I mean, it was saying stuff about like different, like it was like in the '90s or something. Like, oh, it was so great. Oh my God. Hello.
Hello, I am sorry. I don't. Ugh, can't, worst thing about podcasting on a Sunday is if the internet's going bad, you can't really call and complain to anybody.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, no, but
yeah,
like I was saying, that was like everybody's misunderstood the movie and all that. But I mean, hey, some people don't like it, some people are not really video game fans. So
well, I would say the biggest issue is this is before we had truly narrative video games.
yeah,
You look back at the opening of the feature where they have the I don't even know if I would call it computer animation. I think it was like they probably drew everything and then went digital over it to try to make it look like a
Oh, the 65 million years in the past kind of thing.
correct. Yeah, it's I think they tried to make it look like it was a video game. It was probably cheap Disney work real fast because they did not intend to originally. That wasn't in the original script. They just had to go
Yeah,
and
but I think we could basically at the beginning they were trying to do like the video game version somewhat,
right.
the
Letting you
pixels being all everything. So,
yeah, letting us know, oh, this is based off a video game. Now the critics
yeah,
shouldn't give us a thrashing because I mean as I say back in that day we were still on cartridges. I think the most narrative
yeah,
video game you really had at least on a platform home console would have probably been Final Fantasy 3/6. Um, I mean, there were
yeah.
some RPGs, but you definitely didn't have cutscenes. It's not like we're not to the point where it's like we get to the PlayStation 5, 4, and the Naughty Dog Last of Us. What was it? Uncharted games that essentially are movies. And as a video game fan, I kind of prefer the old days where it was just about getting your high score, not worrying, you know, you earn everything instead of oh, so many people worked on this game. Well, we have to respect them. So sit through this 5 minutes of cutscene and hope your fingers are still ready to play well.
Yeah, yeah, especially when you do Nintendo, you're like, oh, and then your fingers hurt like so bad.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, Nintendo hard, as they said. Um,
Yeah.
so so the feature official runtime is 1 hour 44 minutes. If you don't stick around for the post credit sequence where we have Iggy and Spike trying to sell their movie, the
Oh
super
yeah, yeah, that's right.
this yeah
Iggy's
this
World, Iggy's World.
yeah Super Koopa Cousins, which
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm surprised. If it wasn't for Nintendo being so protective of their property, I would imagine, hey, come on, some indie gamer come up with this. I know they did
Oh,
I know there's a sequel comic that was written, I think, last year. Like what actually happened when Daisy returns at the end. Um, and that's just thinking of Daisy. That's a weird thing that they chose. Well, obviously they didn't name Princess Toadstool Peach yet, but um, Daisy essentially is the captive girl from the Game Boy game Super Mario Land from '89, and I
yeah.
think that was just to differentiate things. So I don't know if Daisy would have been in people's in the zeitgeist if it wasn't for this movie. Because I can't really remember any other game she's actually damsel in distress or a playable character as that isn't a Smash Brothers or a Mario Party.
Yeah. Yeah, Mario Party, they have like pretty much every princess that's in there. I only know like two, like Peaches and Daisy, and then they turn around like, oh, there's this other one, this other one.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. On let's see. I think it was they introduced another princess in Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii. I do know that one. I can't remember her name
Yeah,
though. And when you play Smash Brothers, it's more about getting those characters now that aren't Nintendo, like Cloud
yeah,
Strife or Joker, Solid Snake, Mega Man. Than it is
yeah,
actually focusing on the Nintendo characters, which I think is why they thought they could get away with not putting Waluigi in the game. But the last Smash
yeah. I
Brothers
know that's
game.
probably gonna be great.
So,
Yeah, but I'm
uh,
surprised they didn't do a second movie, because that would be
well,
cool if they try to do.
yeah, well, I think you definitely have to be a legacy sequel. I don't think you could have
Yeah,
after how bad this bombed. I don't think you could have anybody would have thrown money at a Super Mario Brothers 2. Um, maybe the DVD made for DVD market, but then again, with some of the effects, I know they're not they're questionable a lot of the time. I do like the animatronics in this, but yeah, it's probably too pricey to do a direct to video back in the day. Um, unless you had British martial artist Gary Daniels as Mario, and like, oh yeah, we'll just see him kick people in turtle suits. Um, but no, I think yeah, 10 years down the road after, well, yeah, I really think it would only work about the same time it took to get the cartoon, I suppose, if you wanted to make money on a sequel.
Well, you
Just
see now we could they have like they like older movies, like say the movies that we seen like 80s and 90s, and they made a movie like one, and then
Mhm.
2023 or 2024 they're making, oh, here's part two, and I'm like, the fuck is that? And I'm like, they should have done it afterwards, but then all of a sudden now they want to try to make part two after like 15, 20, 30 years later.
Well, there wasn't money in it. Like
No, I know, but I would figure they
like
would try to do the second one now.
well, yeah, yes, but Bob Hopkins isn't with us. John Leguizamo
Yeah.
is 63. Um, Dennis Hopper's not with us. I mean, unless you want to go with the bad, like the turns out the king of the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever they call their other dimension in this.
Yeah.
I know they say Mushroom Kingdom just as a joke because of all the mushrooms that. But when you get
Yeah.
when you see Lance Hendrickson at the end of the movie as the king of this dimension, it's
I was shocked at that. I was shocked about that one when it came up and I saw him and I was like, holy shit, that was him. I
yeah.
was like,
So
oh,
and I have not seen a Lance Henriksen movie that I wouldn't say isn't worth a watch. I'm not saying they're all good, but he always adds something
oh,
to it.
yeah, Pumpkinhead. He was in like many of those. He was in
Well, yeah, I'm talking
Hellraiser.
uh Hell World, I think. No, not Hell World.
Uh, oh yeah,
Yeah,
Hellraiser, Hellworld. Yeah.
no, Hellraiser Hell World is Hellraiser 3. Um no, it's
Is
Hell
it?
I yeah, like
Let me look that up.
yeah,
Because I thought it was Hellworld, but
no, it's definitely it was based around video games, so great transition. Uh Hellraiser.
yeah,
It's
Hellworld. Yeah, that was
it
in
should, no, okay, yeah,
2000.
it's Hell World, Hell on Earth is Hellraiser 3. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
which that one I think has Henry Cavill in it as well. Not what
yeah,
yeah, not what I've seen. I'm working my way up
yeah.
there.
I
So,
seen everything, but no, it's not. That's not Square from the Mario Bros. One, but a lot of
oh,
people have been from Mario.
well, I mean, this really, when you look at the New York shots, and I think they actually shot New York, which kind of might be a discredit to the feature because as I'm just saying, well, this kind of looks similar to Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth, released in the same year. And, but that was shot in
Oh
North
yeah,
Carolina. So, I mean, it took place in New York, but um,
yeah.
that was early Weinstein money. So, less said, I guess, the better. Um, but one more thing
This,
about those that odd animated sequence, it does make me think back on the old Philips CDI Mario and Zelda games they made. Again, that was
oh yeah.
Nintendo just made a bunch of licensing decisions that were definitely questionable.
Didn't they?
So,
They did Mortal Kombat. They did. Well, I'm not saying Disney wise. I mean, I'm just
well,
saying like say the
Mortal
games they
Kombat.
made in the movies.
No, they didn't get a good. I don't think we had a good video game movie until Mortal Kombat. That was New Line, and that was a Midway property. The year before that, the underappreciated Street Fighter, was
Yeah,
released.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Again, that's a Capcom property. So Nintendo got
Yeah.
out when the getting was good, and everybody else was just, oh, we'll make it work. And of course, Street Fighter is nothing like the video game. Mortal Kombat was pretty solid, but then you had Annihilation. So,
Oh, and then you had
uh, well,
and
I think there was a made-for-video sequel in the late 2000s, and then yeah, the 2021 remake, which had some great moments, but they had really bad pacing issues with that one. Um, and I'm just, I just give me, I know Christopher Lambert is not Asian, but that's my rating. What can I say? Um, so I guess we
yeah,
better
he
get.
looks a little Asian.
I was having that conversation at my liquor store job. Uh, one of the guys was replacing all the my age, was restocking the Johnny Walker Green and Johnny Walker Gold bottles. There's a decent sale on them, but it's like,
I,
we
I
both.
love how the conversation would go. Like we did a conversation at the liquor store.
Well, what I'm
Yeah,
getting at is it was a lot of people just misunderstood what Scotland and Ireland are, essentially. Like, why are
oh
we restocking all this stock
yeah.
Scotch? But um, yeah. So
We're
now I
doing it
get
for a
distracted.
movie.
Yeah. So I guess we got to get into the plot. 65 million years
Yeah,
ago, the meteorite struck, and instead of killing all the dinosaurs, it just sent them to a separate dimension where reptiles evolved into humans, and in the meantime,
yeah.
we human mammals, they keep using the M word here, uh created created a society that could sustain itself. So King Koopa,
Somewhat.
who, well, I mean, it's a weird world with the fact that I think every New Yorker is Italian in this one. Like, I didn't see
Typically, it
any.
is. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, where's our Orthodox fellows? Occasional
Oh
cab
yeah.
driver, like, um,
Hey,
you
get off
know,
the street.
right. Um, so it's the so King Koopa, who usurped the former king, who was Lance Henriksen. The big reveal at the end. King Cooper, played by Dennis Hopper, wants to use the meteorite to merge the worlds back together, steal all of
Yeah.
society, humanity's resources.
Recently.
Basically,
Yeah.
basically, it's Independence Day in a sense that way. Um, and the only people who can stop him are two underemployed plumbers, played by
And a princess. And a princess.
yes. Well, the princess has the part of the stone needed to complete the meteorite.
Yeah.
Uh, so they send in Fisher Stevens, and I can't remember the name of the other guy. And I only really knew Fisher Stevens before this as Ben from Short Circuit.
Oh, and hackers.
Well, Hackers was after this, so
Was
um,
it after that? Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
right.
think right. So uh, Iggy, played by Fisher Stevens, and Spike, played by Richard Edson. I really, again, if you wanted to try getting closer to the video game, they should have had the five other siblings or cousins,
Oh yeah.
what have you, or at least had the Lena character, Fiona Shaw, great character actress, be named Wendy, keep the Koopa thing going. Um, so the princess is Princess Daisy, doesn't know she's a princess. She was ran out when Koopa took over. Her mom left her at a Catholic orphanage. And I don't know what the nuns are really thinking after that experience, since she hatched from an egg. Like, okay, I
Yeah.
think, like, I
Well,
don't
they
know.
prayed. They prayed a lot.
Okay, I am not of any faith. But I would think that would kind of make me think everything that we were taught is wrong. What's type moment. And essentially, I guess
No, there's always that.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say we go to. There was always like that one nun going like, "Oh, she's not around from here," you know,
Mhm.
or the baby's not from here.
Yeah, but that would suggest aliens, and I mean,
Yeah.
you either have, the nuns would either start having an orgy, or like there's a horror movie made about this. Hey, that might be the way to go with the sequel.
Yeah.
Um,
Everything's for somewhere. Everything's for.
yes. Um, so as the reason why they can connect the dimensions is because the Italian contractor Scapelli accidentally unearthed a dinosaur, a fossil dig where you had reptiles that seemingly were trying to become human, at least according to the fossil records. So, again, everybody's Italian in this movie. I, which, who knows, that's might be, I think that would actually justify what Miyamoto, the video game, the creator, thought of America, essentially. Um,
Mhm.
and there are some obviously poorly directed scenes, like when the queen is trying to get back to her reality and then stop, but the cave in occurs to stop Koopa from getting over to our side. Oh, it was kind of like there's just very bad cuts. Like you would look like, oh, if you don't watch carefully, like, oh, did she run in and cause a cave in? And then, as I say, just poor cuts. So the direction, like the narrative is what I'm here for, though, because it's just so crazy. Like, uh, really, they this is a movie where they should have handed out pills before you entered the cinema. That would have fixed everything. Just,
True. I mean, a
I mean,
point. Yeah, but when you're a
the mo-
kid, they're not going to give it to you.
oh well, the movie's about mushrooms, so uh,
Actually,
no, just
well, yeah, fungus. Yeah.
well, there are mushrooms eventually, yeah. Yeah. So there's all right. Just going through my notes. This is like the first major role for John Leguizamo. Um, I
Yeah.
know. I mean, he had some bit parts. I know he did some indie films. He was part of the military uh guys in Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Like a lot of that guys at that time. Like Robert Patrick was one of the guys trying to free Franco Nero under Bill Sadler's guidance in Die Hard 2. Uh,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
right
but
now I got
that was a Christmas movie as well, right?
Die Hard 2. I don't know. Like, it's definitely a Christmas movie. It's just definitely was playing the hits from the first one, except a little more violent, I would suppose.
Yeah. You know
Uh,
what's funny about that? I bought I have a Funko Pop who's the evil guy from the first one?
Hans Gruber.
Ah, yeah, yeah, Hans Gruber.
Oh, I've
And I seen
got
the
all the
thing.
Die Hard pops.
Well, I was like Hans Gruber, but then I went out and got the Nakatomi Plaza
Oh,
calendar, where it's
yes.
like it's a
Uh,
standstill. of not
Uh,
going pull and going
Alan
down
Rickman,
to
yeah,
like you have on Gruber like pulling down. Yeah,
right, yeah, yep, till Christmas.
so it
Oh, I
falls
have,
down to like when you down
yeah,
the
I I have a face
uh,
mask.
Christmas Eve or Christmas.
Hmm. Oh, I've seen that all over, like seen that a lot of people have that one. I just don't have the space to like, but uh when I'm thinking,
Hey, kids, look what you can win in the Krusty Sweepstakes. To enter, send me your parents' brains. All right, parents' brains on a 3x5 card and send it to.
Previously on 90 for Chill, the podcast.
You all are drawing a lot of attention.
Do you have any idea how many federal regulations you're breaking?
1,
No.
2,
No.
1.5. You wanna go fight some ghosts? Come on! So hat is too much, right?
Ghostbusters.
so I just finally got around to Ghostbusters 2016. Answer the Call is what you'd probably find it under with iTunes. Let me just be upfront. Pales in comparison to the 1984 classic. As we discussed on my podcast, 90 for Chill. That's really only because not every minute's filled with near comic gold or something that really grabs your attention, like the entire refrigerator scenes, I should say, from Ghostbusters. It's actually pretty solid humor-wise. I don't think it's as plasmic as some have described it. It's just you're trying to tackle a classic, trying to redo it, trying to start something new, which I can kind of appreciate, and I do appreciate the approach they take with the idea of the Ghostbusters just being accepted as real by all the major authorities, be it New York mayor, those guys behind Area 51 and all that bollocks. We can't afford to let people actually believe that they're real. The cameos are great. There's definitely a great solid 90-minute movie in there. Why it's 2 hours and 15, I don't know where they came up with that idea. If you're just looking for a good, fun movie, good background noise, definitely should be on the rotations, I think, on the cable channels. It's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not golden every minute, which kind of makes you think, why did you try it when you have nothing but gold from the original Ghostbusters? I will say better than Ghostbusters 2. It's not a retread. It is its own project. It all makes sense why all the Busters have vaginas.
We have had a doozy of a day. A real doozy.
Thank you very much for your patience, Andres, and
Yeah,
screw Xfinity on that one. I've been meaning, but no, I think it might be my computer, but I digress. So we just got through the plot of Super Mario Brothers. And let's see. Sorry, I got the movie in my peripheral, and I think the volume went back on, but there we go. Okay, so the I guess better just describe what the dino world is like, I suppose.
what for their side? It's like
Yes.
everything is generated like the cars are like turbines, but they have one of those electric connectors to rods that would let them go
Essentially
about. Uh,
essentially bumper cars in a sense.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Right.
And then they got the foot oh, what do you call
The stompers, I think, is what they
them?
were
You can
called
bounce
in that.
around.
Yeah, I think they were called stompers,
Yeah,
as Big Bertha describes them. Big Bertha is not a
yeah,
fish in
yeah.
this movie. Um,
No,
but yeah, and I
but
think
he is a bouncer.
they Yes. Oh, there we go. It's see, there's the clever writing that nobody understood in 1993. Um, Again, this probably would have worked better as a horror movie when you thought when if somebody saw this script. Uh, Not something Nintendo would appreciate since they're still the family system. Uh, and yeah, so if you go to a hot dog stand, they're just gonna put a bunch of dead bugs on your bun to eat. Uh,
Yeah,
fr from what I at
I think
least
there was turtles in there too. I think.
perhaps, yeah. I think it's honestly that's not too far removed from Southeast Asia from what I've gathered, at least from my friends who visited Thailand. But
Yeah,
you know, and yeah, so it's a very dystopian look, but you do have I wonder what happened after 9/11 on this side of the universe because you do have the two towers.
yeah. One of them destroyed as it is,
Well, yeah. So, um, so
but
maybe
yeah,
it was Koopa, not Bin Laden. Uh, since
or maybe
theoretically,
Ben Laden.
oh well, I don't know. That would be. I mean, Koopa's evil, but come on. This is the first time I really noticed that Koopa is a germaphobe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's
um,
funny.
yeah, it's. I mean, Dennis Hopper is great. He knew the assignment. Like again, I know many stories like where I think it was Hopkins and Hopper who were bad mouthing the production as it was being produced.
Yeah.
I
Wasn't
know
didn't Dennis Hopper and John Leguizamo in a zombie movie? I don't know if they were in a zombie
Land of the
movie
Dead.
after. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2005, I think, because that was Land of the
Okay, okay. So, yeah.
yeah,
All
it was
right.
a George Romero feature, which I don't know why it didn't make any money. It's solid. I mean it's good. And
Oh yeah.
like I don't think there's maybe Survival of the Dead, the last Romero movie. I think that was just done on way too short. Like um I know Land of the Dead didn't make a lot of money, but then he did Diary of the Dead, which is a lot of fun. And then I think they just like, well, let's make another of the Dead movie. And
Yeah.
Survival had a lot of potential, but it didn't have the money it needed. That which kind of happens when you're operating under the Magnet Media conglomerate or Magnolia Media, which is ironically billionaire Mark Cuban's label. But if you like it's usually if you see a movie from Magnet or Magnolia, it's like, oh, that's probably going to be good, but you definitely know it could have been better if they would have had the money for it. So,
Oh, that's
um,
true.
yeah. So, now Toad
Because
is in this. Oh, yeah.
no, no, I was gonna say money
Oh,
makes the world go. So
well, yeah, but I don't know. It's kind of like somebody on Blue Sky went and said like, "Oh, hear all these speeches, all these smaller movies winning the awards earlier in the night, and then see why spend $200 million when you could make 20 $10 million movies?" And it's like, and I responded with, "Yeah, Oppenheimer is about to start sweeping, so that's not going to happen."
yeah,
So let's see, and but and I think this movie was done for 30. So, and definitely doesn't translate um to modern dollars.
yeah.
Uh so there's that. And yeah, so right now on the screen, I got the interrogate, not the interrogation sequence, because it's supposed to be Koopa pretending to be a lawyer. But
Yeah, oh
again,
yeah.
great scenery chewing by Hopper. I look at his hair and it
What,
reminds me I was at a
what was the name of it? Larry Larison,
uh
Lizardman or something.
Lazarus, Lazardus or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, like lizard almost. You know.
Right. And then they introduced the devolve by devolving system, and of course they do it to Mojo Nixon, who's Toad.
Yeah.
And
Love Mojo.
yeah, truthfully, I have not listened to enough Psychobilly. I know him like I would not know Mojo Nixon if it wasn't for and I mean since I've gone and looked back on Mojo, but if it wasn't for a Dead Milkman Punk Rock Girl, I don't know if I would have I better look into this Mojo fellow.
Yeah.
Uh and sadly he passed last month.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that. Oh God.
Yeah. Oh no, Pat Oswalt sent a tweet out saying, well, if we don't have Mojo Nixon, this world can use some fixing. So, uh,
True, true, yeah.
yeah. So there's a, um, but so they introduced de-evolution. So basically, Koopa's punishment for the most part is, taking a, dissident, and because Toad has been arrested for singing protest
Dang it.
songs,
Yeah.
takes a dissident and reverts them to a lower form of what they were on the evolutionary chain. So basically, they turn. I don't know how when it only seems to affect your skull, the Goombas go and grow to 7 feet tall,
Yeah.
um, and have their tiny little heads. Like Toad is a good example because it's like, okay, well, I guess that kind of looks like a Goomba from the video game. Um, But then later on, you see, and I think it's a nice little touch. All of the Goombas still have a touch of individuality in them. Like Toad has his harmonica. There's other ones with glasses, sunglasses. So that was a
Yeah.
clever choice. That was a clever choice. But it goes back to the end. Like, okay, so we re-evolved the king. We're not going to take care of Toad. I mean, there's your big
Well, I
problem.
think they
Why
probably will. They're probably gonna do that like, after the fact, but if they were gonna do a second one.
Well, then there's the weird sense that it looks like they're kind of happy, I guess, for the most part, the Goombas.
Yeah.
Um, and now we got John Leguizamo fascinated by the fungus and keeps telling Mario, "Hey, trust it." And then you get the first exposure of the bomb, which they totally butcher the pronunciation of in this movie, just calling the bomb.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
I think the one of them says like "my bomb, my bomb." Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a subtitle thing, and since this is a DVD, it's not AI generated. Like a fun thing that I get in an argument with my sister about is last time I watched Willy Wonka for the podcast, 1971
Uh,
version.
yeah.
There's a when we're introduced to Veruca Salt, and they cut from the factory workers uh unwrapping Wonka bars, and she goes and says, "What is wrong with these?" My older sister says it's twits. The
Yeah.
subtitle says it's twats. So so if you're watching something on a streaming service, it's usually AI generated now, I think it is. So it's what the computer hears, not what the script says. So otherwise, I got to go and buy myself a Blu-ray of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which wouldn't be a bad investment. But oh, it's
Yeah.
so easy. It's so easy when it's on Warner on Max all the time. Um, but then eventually,
HD.
Oh, I that was yeah. Max is a weird like it's not as bad as Twitter becoming X, but it's a
Yeah.
weird like like oh let's totally get rid of why people came to it because we did not come to it for Discovery Channel. At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
Not to say there
Oh,
isn't
that's
good stuff.
Elon Musk. Yeah.
Not to say there's not great stuff on Discovery Channel or Food Network. I'll watch. I mean, I'm a very picky eater, but I will watch Iron Chef till no end. Um,
Oh, I'll tell you, my girlfriend would be a great debater on the Discovery because she loves that channel.
yeah. Uh, but it's kind of so now. Now I'm at the scene where they're escaping from the police station. And this is where it's like, okay, now I have to acknowledge, I'm gonna have to abandon all logic for this movie, which again, like maybe not make when I say give the kids pills to start the film, I'm really thinking more of the adults. Because
Yeah, yeah.
there that was a thing of mine when I look back in time. It's like all the movies my parents had to sit through, which they knew they wouldn't like. I kind of feel bad for for dragging them out to those. It's because it's not like the like I think the entertainment was more fun back in the 80s and 90s, but it's not it was strictly for kids. Um like I would say it wasn't until Pixar came around where they started putting in those jokes for adults to make them like see, we're thinking about you. We understand your pain. Um
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you have the Mario escaping in a police car, now he's heading away from a huge explosion of two cars. Um, the logic thing is basically they pull up alongside and they start using flamethrowers, which I presume are supposed to be the fire flowers. Um,
Yeah.
and they keep going through the back seat windows, the flamethrowers from the two cop cars alongside them. Then of course you do the move where you hit the brakes and they start shooting each other. Of course, the problem being is like, well, there was no problem putting flames through your car. Why are they finally going to explode? Um, and so now Mario and Luigi are escaping through the tunnel, which Mario's pissed because he wanted to go on the parkway, but Luigi always knows he'll do the opposite thing he wants them to do. Uh, what did you think? What did you think of the dynamic of the two? Like, I mean, I think there is a genuine brotherly thing. I mean, these guys are drinking between takes together.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they do play the part as pretty much Mario and Luigi. Yeah,
Right.
they do look like Mario and Luigi, like in the
Well,
movie. I would look.
yeah, John should have had a mustache. I
Well, I
mean,
mean, yeah, but then they get to the suits afterwards, like towards
right.
like
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah, no, that's when they start the third act. That's supposed to be, all right,
yeah,
now you get the movie you wanted. You paid to see. Um
yeah.
I mean it's just I don't know. Again, it's like if this would have been a cartoon, like oh, I would have cartoon a horror movie. This would be an undisputed classic. Like nobody questioning. Like if Ralph Bakshi was directed this as a cartoon, I think this would have been a masterpiece. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Um, so now the Koopa cousins interfere with the mud bath. I don't know if we really got enough of the Lena character in this movie. Just her jealousy, really. Um, but you get that weird line, like those weird lines, like you know what I love about mud? It's so dirty, but it's so clean.
And he says that
Uh,
about Daisy, like you look so clean.
yeah. Oh no, no. There's. I mean, I know he said like when he was being was interviewing, hey, you got the Mario brothers. Hey, you gotta get us in touch with that Koopa clown. I don't know if you want to do that. He's an evil, egg sucking. Um, and then he goes and turns on him, and yeah. But you said he was evil. Yeah, did I lie? I Dennis Hopper, I know he hated doing this movie, but he lives up to it. It's not quite Blue Velvet, but he knew the assignment. And I think Hopper, like, I would be jealous if I was Hopper because I think he had sobered up a long time before this. And of course, you have Hopkins and Leguizamo drinking between takes.
Yeah.
So now we're getting to the
Yeah.
yeah, so we're getting to the evolution system where they go and make Spike and Iggy smarter. And I kind of like the liberal message it presumes because like the moment Spike comes out of the evolution, oh, our non-benevolent dictator. Like they know they know, yeah, people are really screwed up. Like, yeah, our system's really screwed up. So I don't know if so yeah, it's a fun little bit like and eventually the Koopa cousins like, yeah, we're gonna do our assignment, but yeah, down with this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna turn on him like a wrestling.
Well, yeah, but as we say, it's almost smarter than anything in wrestling. But now that you bring up the wrestling, of course, the Mario doesn't know his girlfriend had been kidnapped before Daisy, and like,
Yeah.
oh, Danielle is here. Oh shoot, I told her I'd take her to WrestleMania, which
Yeah.
which which is appropriate because WrestleMania 10 in 1994 was at the Garden. So there you go. I do like a lot of the comments though. It's like, are we in Manhattan? I don't know. I haven't been to Manhattan in a while. Very much talking about the
No,
differences.
I haven't been there in a couple of weeks because it must have been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah. So I've never been to New York City. I know that I've talked to a lot of New Yorkers, Long Islanders, and it's like, oh yeah, no, New York City and adjacent is New York. Everything outside, everything upstate, that's Canada, is what I've been told. Um,
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
okay. My dad's from Buffalo, so it's kind of, but and yeah, no, the upstaters have similar things to say. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah,
but no,
but I mean,
I
city I haven't really visited city that much because I'm more of a suburban guy. So
right. Oh no, it's no different than when I go up to Chicago. It's like, yeah, you don't really necessarily want to go in the city proper. Um,
oh yeah.
so it's I don't know. I'm a 44-year-old with a death wish. It's kind of like, no, I can handle the city. Um,
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I could do
yeah,
that.
yeah. But I was thinking somehow I got notes with my evolution is becoming liberal, and then you have the um Koopa's hair, Hopper's hair in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I think Putin would try if he had enough.
Oh yeah, right. Like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go and cool here
I
and
mean,
there.
yeah, why I'm just saying it's like I don't know, if I was again, this shows you that evil in movies is so much better than evil in reality because I don't know, Putin it's one of those like Koopa realizes he's evil. It's kind of like, Putin, why don't you lean into that? Just go yeah, go all out on the yes. Um, but now we're to the well, he tries to go Weinstein on Daisy in this scene, but we are introduced to Yoshi, which
Oh yeah.
I think it's a good little it's not CG, it's I know it's which is brings us to the fact that this movie was released 3 weeks before Jurassic Park. So like maybe if it was released a year prior, they could have made some money off that, but you know, Yoshi is no velociraptor. And,
Yeah.
but
Looks like a
it kind of
gentle one as well.
yeah, no, you didn't get any like maybe the Triceratops and the Brachiosaurus in Jurassic Park, but otherwise you didn't get any friendly looking dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But I guess, when you look at it, it's like Super Mario World, I think came out in 91 in Japan. So 92 in the States with the Super Nintendo, of course. And I think it was kind of like so Yoshi was the new character for the Mario franchise. And I guess that's the only way I could justify, well, let's just make this story about evolution and what if the reptiles were able to create their own society. If you didn't have like if they didn't introduce dinosaurs in Super Mario World, could they have would this movie have happened? Or at least this script.
Oh, true. Definitely. Yeah.
Right, it's but oh, oh shoot, accidentally hit the 1.5 during the date rapey moment,
Yeah.
which is probably a good thing. And I don't know if you have a hard out because but all right. So Yoshi almost kind of a disappointment that well, he's so small. It's like again, like you can ride a Yoshi and then for a little extra boost on your next jump, drop him into a crevasse. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's kind of again, it's like everything's got so much potential. Um, like if you had a better script, somebody doing better script editing. Um, no, I can't really say that because again, it's like it's just a silly science fiction movie that you'd love if it was made 5 years earlier in the 80s, or at least before Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So,
Oh yeah.
mm, yeah. All right. So, okay, I'm about through my notes. So we're currently creating the bond. I guess I didn't say anything about well, besides your keen observation that Big Bertha bounces, which now that I think about
Yeah.
it,
Well, not like that, but yeah, that's what they said. She's the bouncer.
right? Yeah. Well, then I think about it. Oh no, Big Bertha's didn't bounce because they were like the mothers of the cheap cheeps. Those are the ones that just fly out of nowhere and fly from the water to get to you. Um, they were. I mean, I guess it's just kind of like what's Mario really thinking with his play? Because he's back with Daniela at the end of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
can you really go back to the Dino world? Like,
I
it
think
goes
he
back.
could. You know.
I don't know. It goes back to Reservoir Dogs. The story about the it was a conversation, I guess, that Tarantino could barely get away with, really, when he was saying, "Oh, there's nothing like an angry black woman."
Yeah.
uh, the entire story, like, yeah, oh no, so her guy was cheating on him, so she glued his dick to his stomach. Don't piss a black woman
But
off.
but also Mario has like a little thing with the bouncer lady.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, can like
Yeah,
he's so ready to go back at the end of the movie to the dinosaur world, and it's like you did go and spurn Big Bertha.
yeah,
Like, I don't, as I say, that's why I brought up Reservoir Dogs in the pissed off black
yeah.
woman conversation.
No, I
I
know
don't
that.
want. I just don't want to end up going back and then resulting in having to do a headstand to take a piss.
But imagine that bedroom scene.
Oh, just uh, yeah, it's well that no, now I'm thinking about the video game because the Big Berthers had that big mouth that was supposed to swallow you.
Eh.
uh, eh. And then you further think about the video game. You further think about the video game. Of course, she had like three little cheat chiefs always following her. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, no, yeah. Like, again, this could have been an excellent cartoon or horror movie. It just,
Give
uh,
or take. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, overall, it looked out. Yeah. I mean, when I was watching it again, I'm like, actually, it was funny because I went to go and get the movie, and I'm like, I know I got the movie, and I bought it, and then I watched it like two or three times, like way before. And then when we're
yeah.
talking about, we're going to talk about Mario Bros. 93, and I'm like, oh, I got that like in the DVD. And all of a sudden, I looked, I'm like, okay, it's not there. Like, and I see the case, and all of a sudden, it's not in the case, and I'm like, don't tell me I threw it out with the old DVD
Oh,
player. Yeah, then all of a sudden I looked at my little I got like one of those little desk little drawer things that you can put
yeah.
knickknacks in or whatever, like pen, like that. And I see like
Hmm.
a couple of DVDs in there, and I'm like, oh, there it is. I'm like, all right, good. Let me put the
Well,
sucker in, and
with that said, there's supposed to. So I listen to a podcast called Screen Drafts, where they pick a topic, a genre of cinema, and then create the best of list for them. And so this came up in first came up on the show in the video game adaptation draft, and I think it may have been number one, which is really weird, but and that's how the reassessment. Like, well, if I can find a copy of it, I guess I'm buying it because again, I remember not liking it in 1993 as a 13-year-old Mario fan. Um,
yeah,
oh, I do appreciate Mario's game. Like he gets immediately punched in the face by Big Bertha. Uh, and then it's like, oh, could you do that again? Like, and now I'm thinking like, okay, no, maybe I am into the after hours sequences between them. Just, but that's my own prev proclivities, I guess. So, um, but when they were talking about this, it's like on YouTube, if you're willing to do the digging, there is a director's cut of this feature, which is supposed to make everything work. Uh, I haven't taken that time, but it's one of those like this. I don't know if it's going to end up in the public domain or not. Essentially, I don't think. Well, I don't think it's going to end up in the public domain just because it's IP. Nobody gives up that. Like, um, but it's one of those that might never be released again when you stop and think about it,
yeah,
which is kind of sad because again, it if you just ignore if you ignore the idea that you wanted to see a Mario movie, and just came to see a movie about a weird science fiction movie, it would totally work. Um, and now that I stop and think about it, when did we get over the dance club scenes in cinema? Or have we gotten over the dance club scenes? Because, like, I was thinking, oh, this is kind of reminiscent of Earth Girls Are Easy. But then I go and think, well, we had a dance club scene in The Matrix, so
Oh yeah,
it's I
that
so I
dance.
don't know. So I don't know if we've got if we're still doing that. It's been a while since I've seen a dance club in a movie. Well, then again, the movie Gamer had a dance club scene, so
I
and
think every movie has a dance club scene. It has to have one. Everybody
yeah.
go down there to have, like, oh, we're at the multiplex
Well, I guess
or
that's a
the
different.
whatever,
Yeah. Well, no, and then well, though I bring that up, it's like I recently watched Saint Maud, and there's the club scene in that movie. So, um,
Yeah,
I guess it. Well, and I was about to say, well, maybe it's a prove that you have a big budget and you could afford a bunch of extras. And but then again, it's like no, Saint Maud did not have a big budget, so I'm really interested in that director's Rose Glass. She directed Saint Maud, her new movie Love Lies Bleeding with Kristen Stewart and Ed Harris. I mean, looks insane.
I love that Harris. That Harris is awesome.
Yeah, I mean he can make a he was the reason why you could get another season out of Westworld after they had concluded it pretty well and they concluded it pretty well after the second season. So,
Yeah, but I forget what movie. Oh, I know what movie, but I can't remember the name of it. It's a sniper movie, Behind Enemy Gates, I think it is.
behind. Okay, let me. Enemy at the Gate.
Enemy
Uh,
at the Gates.
yeah,
I know there's
with
another one called Behind.
yeah, yeah. No, that was a movie I saw. Like, 2001 was a weird time for me. Not really that weird, honestly. I just had a so I had a friend who so w- basically we all went through junior college essentially. Well, no, maybe he actually went to the no, we're all. But for the most part, if we didn't get a scholarship, we all went through the junior college. And then when we, graduated appropriately, I had a friend who wanted to go into law enforcement. So obviously a racist. Just my statement or he was a guy who definitely felt underappreciated in high school. I can say that much. Um, and but so the best law enforcement school in the state of Illinois is one of the best party schools in the state of Illinois. But that guy would come back every weekend and we'd go see a movie. It's because I wasn't going to graduate. Well, I was going to get my associates instead of just like, oh, I did my 2 years here. Get my associates, get into professional wrestling. That was the plan. And I did go through that. But yeah, he would come back every weekend. It's like, dude, you should just be staying at your university, partying, getting drunk. I don't. But as a result, we ended up seeing like Enemy at the Gate in the theater like 3 times and having a bunch of debates about that movie. I don't know if it really holds up today. Like it's but hey, great mentioning that because that's another great Bob Hoskins performance as Khrushchev.
Yeah, but also it's a great. I love the movie, so it's just like, no, I haven't seen one. There, should watch that tonight.
Oh,
Hmm.
there's so much fun things about it. I don't think I just like when you look at the history of the Battle of Stalingrad, it's a total work of fiction. Not saying, Vasily Zaisev didn't go and kill all those officers, but I think the entire idea of them bringing their own sniper into take. So it's basically that movie's about sniper versus sniper. Um,
Yeah, but
but
the kid that's supposed to be the snipering, we call it, he's basically a kid, but he's very good at what he does.
right. Oh no, they do the flashbacks to justify his story. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, Jude Law plays the hero in that movie. Rachel Weisz that was very like I think eye-opening for a bunch because Rachel Weisz had done a lot of great independent movies, and there's a fun movie have off iTunes which I think is only in standard definition called Death Machine. Um, that's definitely worth finding. It's a horror movie, and Rachel Weisz only has a walk-on role in it as like a secretary to, and then one scene only. But the that movie is about a woman who takes over the CEO of a weapons company, and she decides to shut down Brad Dourif's um, latest weapon, which
Yeah.
you don't mess around with Brad Dourif. Um, Probably the most underappreciated bad guy actor in all of Hollywood, the voice of Chucky. Um, but he's a that so basically he decides to lock down the building and have her try to fight her new like his new like dinosaur slash Terminator hybrid. Directed by the guy who did Blade, so
Yeah.
it's sad what happened to his career, but um the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is a sad movie to watch. So I think that was his last film he directed. So yeah, we just gotten the suits put on. We're trying to have the treachery angle from Lena. So, and that's the only time we really get to see Yoshi be Yoshi is when he uses his tongue.
Yeah.
But no, I'm surprised Fiona Shaw wasn't a bigger act. Well, if this is your biggest movie of the 90s, I guess I'm not surprised that she didn't go on to a larger career. I know her like I really picked up on her after like the fourth season of True Blood, the season
What
about
didn't she
witches.
do? Didn't she
Uh
do Cruella?
she may have been in that. I was gonna say she's getting a lot more work.
Early.
She's getting a lot more work now. Well, she was in the Harry Potter movies. Uh
Uh,
yeah, no, she's an English actress, so she's working all the time essentially. Like it goes back to Michael Caine, never turning down a job. Uh, a lot of television work in her resume. As I say, I first really get paid attention to her in True Blood season 4, but yeah, not no, aside from, Harry Potter, I'm not seeing. Oh, she was the aunt in Harry Potter. So I'm presuming the person who locked Harry under the stairs. Not a big Harry Potter fan myself, so yeah, nothing that really screams um, nothing that really shows up great on the mobile app for IMDb, but
yeah.
um let me- so yep. And then we see yeah, Toad coming into his own, offering up food to Daisy and then gets barbecued. But I'm kind of
I mean,
but
live.
yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. No, he saves the day by playing his harmonica and getting the Goombas to dance again. Um it's kind of a it's like the dancing sequence is a lot of fun, the elevator. And then it's kind of funny, did they really because it was actually Frankie Yankovic who's the song being played. Um no relation to Al, but they have performed together before he passed. And then but the soundtrack is interesting. Like the end credit song is by Roxette, and then you have the Goombas cover of Dinosaur, which
Oh yeah.
that's what it's listed on in the credits. The Goombas featuring George Clinton. Like
A
George.
historical name.
Oh yeah, no, that's another movie that I haven't done on the show yet. PCU. The
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's
Again, you cannot find out any. So
no, it's no. I got that on a 2-pack back at Walmart in the day with Airheads. But yeah, no, Jeremy Piven, well, kind of lived up to being, oh yeah, you definitely would have been on the cast of Entourage. Um, at least
yeah,
outside of and then the entire, I don't think they necessarily, well, it was a feature that may have been ahead of its time, or no, you don't want it to say ahead of its time because that's what most conservative cinema is about now. Oh, they want to shut us up, and then they don't make any jokes about it. Like, yeah, it's like accepting the ridiculous nature. Like, oh, we can't do anything edgy, and it's like, no, you like people say you can't remake Blazing Saddles, and it's like you can, you just have to knock it out of the ballpark, which is why you don't remake
and,
Blazing Saddles.
and not try to insult everybody.
Right. Well, yeah, you can do that, but as I say, if your movie is not perfect, it's not, it's not going it'll end up being more of a detriment to the legacy instead of a tribute. And I don't know, I think you just don't see any westerns anymore, so I guess that's why Blazing Saddles wouldn't necessarily work. But no, Spaceballs 2, that's something, the quest for more money, that should have been greenlit a long time ago.
Quest for more money.
Oh no, well no, my doormat is just the title, the font for the title, Spaceballs, and underneath it says the doormat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So the third act of this movie, I mean, it's just what's going to happen basically. Can't really say it's overly exciting. Um but again, it's just kind of like this. I guess the biggest problem with this movie, or why I should say the biggest problem with this movie, but the biggest reason for the success of the animated movie that came out last year is it's kind of like, okay, when parents had to go and take their kids to see to see any movie based off a toy, essentially, the parents didn't give a shit about the toy. The reason why is so, give it 30 years where the kids who were all about the toy, um, get the toy is still selling like hotcakes. Like Mario is probably the best video game franchise out there, and everybody knows it now. So I guess the biggest pain of being a parent in the 80s and 90s is they didn't get it because it wasn't for them. And now, like, oh, going to be Mario Brothers is going to be a fun kids movie. Well, I love Mario Brothers to begin with, so that's why it's $1 billion movie. Um, if like I don't know if it was okay, thank you very much. Just cat. Yep, I figured you were going to have a hard out. So, all right. So as I say, the third act plays out. Mario and Luigi go and de-evolve Koopa with super scope sixes. If you look closely there, and save the day, but Daisy chooses to stay behind. And from there, um, I don't know. I guess my big thing was, did Daisy stay behind because she wants to save a society, or was she just trying to duck her student loans?
Probably both.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I fortunately I did not have to deal with student loans, but I could definitely see where that would be. Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, no, if I had that kind of debt and I had a place to escape to, I'm there. Like, it's whenever I visit, like,
Yeah, but you would never be able to come back anyway.
right, right. No, no, when I visited London last year for the Cubs Cardinal series, it's like, oh, I could figure this town out fast. And like, just how do I change my identity? And of course, there's no place to live in London, but I can get myself a little Mini Cooper. I can live out of that and avoid all my issues back home. So I've gone through all my notes. Any real takes you want to put out there that haven't been stated?
No, I think we kind of covered everything as it is. It's like, you know, I
Well,
don't know. Basically, though,
it's basically again, it's a product of its time. We did not know if video games were, you know, about narratives, uh we could there'd be a movie to make. So basically, uh Super Mario Brothers 1993 is like um a necessary experiment. Like, all right, we gotta, and perhaps it changed the video game market. Like, okay, if we're gonna end up making more money off this, we have to create better stories. Instead of Mario goes through 4 levels and is told by a little guy in a mushroom hat, "Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle."
yeah,
Like, so it basically it walked so that The Last of Us and could run essentially. Maybe that's what the movie was missing. Pedro Pascal. I think he would have been a
true.
little too young for Luigi, but he'd at least have the
Yeah,
mustache.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, I don't know. He can't be. I gotta look that up. Pedro Pascal. Because I know he's older than. Well, he's always looked the same age, but come on. Uh, no, geez. So not. Oh, he didn't break big, and oh no, he's okay. Yeah, he would have been 18, so that would have been too young.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I mean, did you see the Saturday Night Live sketch? Mario Kart, the HBO series.
No.
Oh, so it's right after the success of The Last of Us, and Pedro Pascal was the guest host on Saturday Night Live, and
Oh, I
they
think I heard something. I haven't seen it.
right. So it's like, oh, you have to basically the same plot of The Last of Us. You got to get the princess to this place. We need a driver. I don't do that anymore. But you are him? Yes, yes, it's a me, Mario.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Remember when he got the Oscars and then he was like a little tipsy when accepting the Oscar.
I don't think he. What did he get an Oscar? Pedro Pascal get an Oscar for? Maybe an
Uh,
Emmy. I think an
what was it?
Emmy. I
I
think
always
you're
get the
thinking of, yeah, no, the Emmys are for television. The
yeah. And I
The
always
Oscar.
ask stuff. I'm like,
Well, I know the Golden Globes, at least, they sit you at tables where they do give you all the drinks you could ask for. So, but no, I mean Pedro has become all the ladies' daddies from what I've gathered. So, but I don't know. And now that I say that though, I think this kind of really held John Leguizamo back so much though because of how it bombed, which is very sad. Like like he's
yeah,
gonna
but he
be
also did like some later down the line. He did like John Wick, yeah, which was
yes, oh yeah. Well, I mean, he had Carlito's Way. I think he's the guy who kills Carlito,
yeah.
and I think he's the guy who put a bullet in Harrison Ford's brain in regarding Henry.
And I think he killed off Dennis Hopper in that Land of the
Oh,
Dead.
yeah, no, I think he's the only guy who's killed Dennis Hopper twice. Not to say that Dennis
Yeah,
Hopper necessarily died. He just got de-evolved into sludge.
I don't know if he's like sludge. I think he's actually dead.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, not like a
he
Lance Henderson as a like fungus.
he could be plankton, I suppose. There you go. SpongeBob SquarePants
Yeah, he's a
versus the Mario Brothers. All right. Well, I know you got your heart out, and thank you very much for being so accommodating, and thank you for putting up with all the technical issues we had today.
yeah, no
Um,
problem.
it's
It
great to
happens.
great,
But
yeah.
the podcast
Uh,
too.
right, right. As for your question before the show, I do use podcast. I do all my editing essentially before I ever release the episodes on Audacity. So
Oh,
Anchor
okay.
for Spotify for podcasters works out fine for me, but that's just again what when I went to college for essentially. Um,
Yeah.
but
I mean, for
yeah, that
me, I do the but they
oh
had the editing tools, but
yeah,
I think in June they're getting rid of
they're
it.
do yeah, no, I did see that because when I was at the annual B Fest at Northwestern, and I did the read podcast on my iPad with the Spotify for podcasters. I did get all the notices, and it's like, well, shit. Um, but it works fine for me. Um, I was on a good platform called Podbean, which, but that's for people who really know all the ins and outs of it. So if you're looking for
Yeah.
simple, I do not have another option outside of like when I joined Spotify for podcasters, I was very intent on drilling their customer service department. No, really, what are you expecting me to pay you? And
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like that's what I want to do. We get something where I don't have to pay anything, and then
yeah,
be able to do what I need to get done.
right. So I
But
don't
oh
know.
well.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know where we can go from there. But you have, of
Ah,
course, the Tattoo Squid podcast, which is a weekly show, correct?
yes, I just started it back up a couple uh, doing stuff for the time being until I get guests. So anybody that wants to be a guest, go to Twitter, go to my link tree actually, linktr.ee slash tattoo squid. That's Ta2Squid podcast, all one word. And just go on there and message either on Twitter or Instagram. So Twitter is
Oh,
at podcast tattoo squid and Instagram is tattoo squid dot podcast. So
all
drop
All right. Yeah. So if you've got, I mean, it's a great play. It's a great show to be on. If you've got something you definitely started up and need the exposure, there's uh probably I just need to get more feedback from people online. I think Andres is probably a better host than I am. I'm a little more
no, no, you're
I get
you're in there too. So
all right, all right. Thank you. You can be a guest on 90 for Chill the podcast. You can find me on Twitter at CatBusRuss. You can find me on Blue Sky at catbusruss.bksy.social. I mean, it's longer, but hey, it's fun to be on a platform where there's no advertisement. And that's basically, and I wondered, how the hell did they do that? And then it's like, oh yeah, they got $44 billion from some idiot.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So yeah, those are my those are my platforms. Just send me a if you want to be on the show, send me a movie, a theme, a director, an actor. I can make anything work if you want to put extra work in, but preferably movies between 70 and 100 minutes, as I stated. If it's one out, if it's over, if it doesn't hit the 141 mark, we can round down, and we don't count the credits. So
Yeah.
that's the show there. Rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps, 5 stars preferably. Be as honest as you want with all the text. I don't think the robots know that yet. I just got to go and dedicate it, of course, to my late best friend, Stacia Hardin, for keeping an eye on me, keeping me out of trouble. I hope she's doing the same for the rest of everybody she touched in her life. And, you know, pour a drink out for my little kitty, Skimble Shanks, the one-eared angel. So thank you again, Andres, for being on the show. Hope you get to your dinner
No
on
problem. Thank you
time.
for having me. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Can I hear a wahoo?